Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas warning that immigrants are not allowed to enter the country as the Biden administration works to deport thousands of Haitian refugees who have camped out under a bridge there in Del Rio, Texas, in what could be one of America's swiftest large-scale expulsions in decades. The Biden administration planning to fly most of the some 13,000 migrants back to Haiti, which is reeling from a devastating earthquake and political instability in the wake of the president's assassination. ABC's Kenneth Moten is there in Del Rio with the latest. Hi, Kenneth.
Just an incredible situation here at the border where it is a crisis, where you have about a little more than 10,000 Haitians who are under that Del Rio International Bridge right now. We got that update from the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, who said that the situation is under control. The border is under control, and they're doing everything possible to help the people there under that bridge, making sure they contain the situation, get those people.
NBC News has learned Haitian migrants who were deported to Haiti today attacked pilots and immigration officers on another flight after it landed in Port-au-Prince. So the plane carrying single adult men were released from the aircraft to Haitian authorities on the airport tarmac. Then NBC News reports several of those men stormed another recently arrived jet carrying families.
Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I guess I'll throw my 2 cents in on the whole Haitian migrants being whooped on while the white man rides on horseback. Now, it's topics like these that are the building blocks of my channel. I admit I'm not good at talking about that red pill, dusty IG model stuff. But these videos right here, this is my specialty. And so let's get into it. First of all, you got a lot going on in that borders. A lot from that clip I showed you there. So black people need to get a very broad scope of what's going on. We see that, and you know what I'm saying, we see that image there of the Haitians being whipped on horseback, you know, and so forth, and we're all in our emotions. We're like, oh, Joe Biden has the answer for this, and that's the problem. We think with our emotions. I'm like, they got a massive deportation operation going on. You got thousands and thousands of misplaced people living under the bridge. There's trash everywhere. And you gotta, what do we got in plan? What plan do we have? You know, so therefore I'm like, Border Patrol is gonna do what Border Patrol does. Because we have nothing in place. Matter of fact, I'm really sick of people. You know, we stick our head in La La Land. You sit around all day watching videos about celebrity trash, who's fucking who or whatever. Then something like this pop up. You don't want to make ends meet of it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than do some research. Now, but I'm gonna properly break things down here. And there's pro-blacks here that are trying to give out misinformations, trying to get black people all riled up and so forth. But there's been one thing that that is very disturbing, is that how people are drawing comparisons with this and slavery. And I can understand. I can understand how they can juxtapose that image of, you know what I'm saying, the white man on horseback, you know, whipping a black person. You know, well, the white man is the alpha male, and the black man is the omega. But let's go. But this is not slavery. Bear in mind, the slaves were running away from the white man with the whip. They was going to go that way. These people are running towards the white man with the whip, or to his property and so forth. The thing is, we love comparing everything to slavery. Working at McDonald's is slavery. Why don't animals pay rent? And here in America, it's so evil. We got white supremacy is everywhere like a bacteria. There's racism. There's no way the black man can get ahead. You know, the evil wizards of white supremacy, they control everything. Everything is KKK and neo-Nazis. Why the heck will a black person even want to come here? You know, Willie D said, he said it himself, you know what I'm saying, why come here? You know, and so forth. Let's face it, it's like what KRS-One said. America is, don't get me wrong, America is a great place to live, but listen to the knowledge that I give. There's a lot of opportunity here in America. You know, I know that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the super pro-blacks or whatever, you know, they don't want to acknowledge that, but there is. And a lot of the foreigners, they see it. And sometimes us black people, we don't see it. What the Biggie Smalls says, you either sell crack rock or have a wicked jump shop, like there's some sort of invisible barrier around the projects. The only way you can make it is through sports and entertainment and so forth. No, here in America, you can join the military, you can become a truck driver, you can go to school, community college, you can earn a trade. America is very easy for someone to be at the lower class and jump to the middle class and so forth. I'm not saying it's not going to take hard work and a little bit of elbow grease, but you know, it's possible. Does that mean that there's no racism here? That means that everything's fair? No, but there is opportunity here. And I'm not going to go on a tangent about how these foreigners, Haitians and Jamaicans or whatever, Caribbeans, turn their nose up to Americans. I have a very close Haitian friend. We've been friends for over 10 years. Facebook friends and so forth. He was my co-worker, and I understand that a lot of the snooty Caribbeans, they didn't come off the banana boat. They didn't sneak over here. You know, there are some people who did things the right way, got their paperwork the right way, got an education and so forth. So, you know, and I understand in some of these countries there are people steadfast. There are people like, hey, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to go there up under that white man's bosom. I was born here. I'm going to die here. You know, we don't hear those people's story. We only see some of these poor people, you know, they could be uneducated or not, but you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get that away from where the hell they was at. But let's go into a little bit of history of Haiti. I don't want to try to keep this too boring for you, but Haiti was the first slave-holding democracy. You know what I'm saying? The Haitians, they fought and got their freedom. And when America, so slavery was the first slave-holding democracy in the New World. Remember, America still had slaves. America was calling itself a free country when it still had slaves, but here, black people don't count. But Haitians went through one hardship after another one. Now let's go into 1994 when we actually did help the Haitians. We also probably set them up for failure too, but this is what we do. America does all around the world. There's a book written by Randall Robinson called Unbroken Agony. And I advise people who really want to have some insight on what's going on, read that book, order the book off Amazon, get that book from a library. It's a very good read. Unbroken Agony by Randall Robinson. And around 1993, 1994, America or the Western powers were propped up some puppet dictator or puppet leader by the name of Emmanuel Constant. I don't have coronavirus. Emmanuel Constant. He was posed to win a democratic election. Bear in mind, Haiti is a democracy. That means people vote in their elections. He was posed to win, but like Donald Trump, he was a sore loser. He lost to somebody by the name of Aristide. And some of you people know who Aristide is. The Western powers are trying to paint him as some sort of monster. He's not. He is somebody that the people votes for. Emmanuel Constant couldn't take that loss, so he started killing people, started having a bloodbath, started going ham. You know, he started ending people's life subscriptions. And Randall Robinson told Bill Clinton, he said, man, you got to do something about this. And Randall Robinson actually fasted, lost a lot of weight until Bill Clinton did something. So we sent in the troops. Bear in mind, Emmanuel Constant's soldiers had U.S. military artillery. And so we went down there. Emmanuel Constant didn't want no smoke. Supposedly, they didn't fire no guns in our direction. They didn't want no smoke. So they gave up. Now, do you think they threw Emmanuel Constant in some sort of prison? No. The last time I read about Emmanuel Constant, he was working as some real estate agent here in New York. And he's responsible for the deaths of a lot of people. So, but if those who remember, if you was watching news and TV, there was a whole lot of Haitians in boats and so forth, trying to get away from Emmanuel Constant, trying to get away from that situation down there in Haiti. And we was letting them in. We probably turned down our food, but there was people on boats and reefs. They was getting here either way they can. And we was letting them in, and we helped their country out. You know, you can say that how we sabotaged their country and we was undoing what we already did, but that's pretty much what we probably did in Afghanistan. And you got these pro-blacks talking about, oh, we're treating the Afghanistans better. What was that? Dr. Boyce Watkins and that, who's that one guy who, dang, I forgot. I can't believe I can't forget. Umar Johnson. You know, these guys are really going to arouse black people's emotions, man. I'm like, I'm tired of the misinformation these people, they put out. I'm not saying that they're not smart guys, but man, I'm like, with Afghanistan, first of all, the white man is the alpha male. Black people, we are the omega. And between us is the beta and the gamma. You know, I know that the Negro manosphere, these guys, they always talk about alpha and beta. But in actuality, there's alpha, beta, omega, alpha, beta, gamma, and omega. And to my opinion, the white man is alpha, the Asians may be the beta, and black people are definitely omega. But still, the white man has pulled everybody's whole card. You know, I'm speaking in 1990s hip hop slang right there, boy. Whole card. Look what he did with the with those Middle Eastern people in Guantanamo Bay, or whatever that other prison was called. You know, they was having these people on dog leashes. Straight sent them, had a woman, had them doing some pyramid thing like cheerleaders. You've all seen them pictures of how demoralizing this was, how deplorable it was, how they, you know what I'm saying, treated these people so inhumane. These Afghans or whatever are, I think they were Iraqi soldiers and so forth. Imagine if they did that with black people. You will have such an outcry. And when America goes in and occupies a country, and when America flees with their tail between their legs, like we did in Vietnam, there's people there that help us, that were our allies. You know, they're like, hey, you guys can't run out on us. We helped you, we fed you, we let you screw our women and so forth. You got to help us. That's why they're trying to flee, because they know the opposing forces, the evildoers, as George W. Bush would say, would be like, you are turncoats. You guys are sellouts. You helped the Americans. Now we're going to come on you guys hard. And Vietnam, we was up against the northern Vietnamese. The South was helping us or whatever. So therefore, when America retreated, abandoned the operation, of course, the Communist Party is going to come down hard on the Vietnamese that were our allies. So that's why America is helping us. But America, I'm like, you have South American children inside pens like a petting zoo or so forth. And you're not much of a man if you let your own children end up in cages like that. But as I said, the white man's the alpha male. He pulls a lot of people's whole cards or whatever. But bottom line, they got to secure them borders. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I agree with some methods, but, you know, things got to be done. And if people want to come into this country, there's a system in place. You have to, you know, follow the rules. You know, it's like if I opened up a soup kitchen and to help feed people or whatever, and I said, you got to stand in line, you got to get a number or whatever, a food pantry or whatever, you got to go by these rules. If there's people trying to sneak in through the back door, people trying to cut in line, sneak behind the counter, they might get swatted. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and never stop learning.